Rule number two in avoiding arguments is find something you and your partner agrees on rather, and then kind of work from there instead of just focusing on the things you disagree on. Okay, so now we're done in that schooling, let's go through T stuff on cash. So first of all, the way we typically play the cash is very slow because a lot of teams do early is they do all use all their utilities. So they smoke mid, they molly up here, they molly A main typically twice, and they smoke B once or twice. So the things they do here early typically just means that you just want to wait out all their shit. So if they keep using all their utility early, I think just slowing down completely is fine on cash. Um, so what we would normally do is just wait out all the utility, and our default setup would just be simple map control things, and then react based on how they play against us after that part. So we'd always have one guy towards B. We'll just hold, for the first few minutes. So often they smoke this, right? So a couple of things you can do here. What I would typically do is either play this angle here, which is super strong, or back here. Both of these are really strong angles because they don't usually peek you. Neither of those, and you can just hold there for quite some time, and just if they push you, you're basically gonna kill them. And once you can do the smoke from there as well, obviously, but this is the lineup I had if I want to do this early. You just run here and you walk at the end and just throw and hit that top part. This is the way I lined it up, but I'm sure there's like a billion ways to do it. And obviously, this molly and this flash is also pretty simple and pretty safe. So this molly is this angle, and you can throw a flash the same direction, just push anyone back who's pushed up in that area. So just doing that with one person, which I assume would be Eddic, is a really simple way to just make them kind of fall back from here. And this is something you can do pretty much every round, in my opinion, because this is also something you can do to set up and execute, and you wouldn't really know if you're executing or not. Because often, we're just holding for a minute, so we can just do mid control, we can do a full contact play, we can do a full execute, and it's hard for them to deal with that. This also allows you to actually do some things here by yourself, like clearing this, coming down here and clearing these things, um, which is quite fun because it's smoked. And often you can actually stay here. Now we think I did this flash, if I recall correctly. Oh, wow, this is right click. This flash, I believe, which is like a pop flash, and just peek with it, basically. And just try to get something done. It's just something you can kind of challenge yourself with and see how well you can do in these cases. Also, just throwing this smoke and creating presence here, and then going back and just chilling as well, also a really powerful thing. There are a lot of things you can do with this map control. The NIP thing back in the day was typically doing this with 2-3 people, and you boosted people up in vents, which is also a pretty cool idea, if you struggle to take mid control. Or you don't have utility to take mid control. Beyond that, we would just hold basically. We'd always play 2 or 3 main, and we do the setup here where one guy is like on this ledge here and just waiting for a flash or something, and just drop down if something happened, or just take a shot. In the moment this guy made contact, there would be a guy here who just waited and just peek with it. Instantly peek that, could trade that. And one guy just holding like back here for squeaky and mid and boost. Kinda. You're not really worried about if he pushes here to some extent, because if he does, you can just kill him whenever he pushes out or when he sees nothing there. If he peeks that far, he's going to push further. You can just hold this for quite some time and boost. And one guy mid, obviously. Yeah, you just wait. That was our basic thing. So a couple of things we could do after that. Obviously, mid control, super simple with the smokes. Wall of smokes or just one smoke there and a molly there. It's just super simple. Mauling events as well. If we have Edic towards B, and we can kind of clear events, it's not necessarily Molly events all the time. But this, smoke, I don't know, the Molly for sandbag and this flash is super strong. That one pop flash white box, I actually missed that one, but yeah. Um, oh, there's not really lineup for that one because it's not very accurate. You just go around here and I like just get a basic idea where I have to throw it. It's gonna be like a small gap. So my crosshair is like, I see kind of line up these and just throw. I just miss it now, obviously, but it's not very accurate. So I just throw that one. There's obviously one you can throw from the boost as well, like rear line up and everything. I don't remember this one, but yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, just molly, sandbags and these things. And doing this simple mid control a lot of rounds often is quite strong. Of course, doing wall of smokes mid, I don't know the smokes, obviously, but doesn't matter. You can just do wall of smokes here, and again do the mid control, and just clear out close here. And again, throw some flashes to clear out the close angles, and just like kind of take mid control. It's quite strong. Now, the normal thing we do, like typically do mid control to some extent, but also having an op peek out here, you know, for some peek shots or something, even a rifle if you're comfortable with it. You can maul, you know, Bialy or NBK and see if he reacts from it, you know. You can smoke this and like throw a flash on sight, which often, you know, pulls a few rotations. So if this is a really simple way to fake an A push, just that one smoke and a flash and one guy like just peeking this. Also you can molly this, you know, so you can't really be fork. So if you have like, you know, two people here, they can, the one guy can like basically throw this molly, you know, maybe smoke cross and just rotate around and go towards mid. While this guy can actually fake for quite some time, and you'll pull one guy from mid, you know, for sure, which makes it make mid a lot easier. And you boost the rotations, and often even one player from B will rotate. So you just do a contact bleep B play with like a smoke lower and a molly higher upper, you know, it's just gonna be one guy in sight in a lot of cases, just doing something simple like that. Um, Same can be done for Squeaky to some extent. Also, opping Squeaky, actually pretty powerful on this map. Have an opper here, have a guy open the door for you, you know, and you just hold this angle with the op, basically. You know, you're ready here. And if you don't see him, you peek, you know, towards Squeaky, and you see if you see him. And if you don't see him, you know, okay, just rotate it back instantly. Or just keep holding it for a bit. Really powerful um, from this point in the entry sense, you know. Just has a one place you don't really smoke off, and you can't really do much about it early, so... Um, so once we get these certain map controls and make them for certain rotations, there's a couple of things I always love doing. I think the B execute is super strong on this map. The only thing that kind of counters it is if they have people checkers, which is super easy to counter. So if you had a lot of utility, what we'd often do, you know, we do a mid control, which will either be wall of smokes, you know, where we like smoke to two smokes mid, um, and then just flash out like some simple flashes, two flashes basically, one close and one over there, and just come one guy boost or something, and just like delayed or something, just to clear these angles that they push through the smoke, and be like two people out here, you know, pushing out here in vents, and you would basically have two guys towards B. You just clear these pretty slowly because it doesn't really matter. You can still chill it for a bit. You have like 40 seconds left. You didn't know it was A or B, and you can volley back here, obviously. You know, clear close. You already clear that one to molly early prop, you know, at some point probably. And just a simple push here, basically. I think everyone knows these mollies. Smoke for lower. If I can hit it, that'd be nice. This guy would do this smoke and this molly, which is here, I believe. And there's a molly here as well. So these mollies, that one molly's both headshot and default, or that's Harmash or default, and yeah, and this one, I think this was Ketias, I don't remember the word, but okay. So you model these two, you know, and you just flash over basically, and there's a pop flash you can throw from here, and you can actually throw two flashes. This pop flash, obviously, is a bit better than that one. I think you throw it like here, really strong because they have to peek, and even just throwing a flash like back here, again, pretty strong. And if you have people checker, you can even throw this flash as well, and you just completely overwhelm the site. And you clear these close angles first. That's really important. This one is really important because that's like the only places you don't really cover completely with these flashes and everything to some extent. And you just clear those and just complete overwhelm. And obviously upper is open, you know, which is why these two guys are just gonna jiggle peek for a bit, you know, and maybe throw smoke if they have upper, or just chill here and just be like trading towards the site. Because these guys who push out here from who comes from like vents and everything can really do simple that. And this is a really simple thing, but I found that this push, you know, it's just so hard for the CTs to deal with unless they push somewhere else in the map. Which is like once you take mid, they play a slow default and just do mid control and just go towards B, and it's quite hard for them to deal with. The only thing that can counter it if you do all the smokes, you know, is obviously guy being here or a guy checker, like a checker connector or something. You can see you jump vents. But this is an easy way to deal with that. You can also do the other mid default, which is, you know, mid control, which is the smoke, the molly here, flash out, you know, maybe molly vents and everything, and just clear this. Come out here, you know, clear all these things, and then you can kind of, again, go B. And it's hard for him to deal with this. If you want to go A, a simple thing, it would be, I don't remember these smokes, but there's a smoke you can throw from here that basically lands about there, exactly. Push land a bit further out. So, you know, it's smoked on a cross. You have to push out here. And then you just flash them. Like, really simply. So you just would throw this smoke, you know, and like push up with a flash or something. One or two flashes. And if they try to peek outside the smoke, they'll be flashed. And you can just push on the side quite easily here at this point. And obviously, you know, you still have these people here who can do the molly towards towards NBK. Bialy, you know, they can throw a flash on the site or whatever. and do these things they still do. And it's a play split. The thing about cash is that it's not really a complex map. The thing that really gets you on T side is if they push you a lot. Which a lot of teams are actually going to do. Good teams are going to push you quite a lot, be quite aggressive, which is why I always like playing slow. When you first start doing something, you want to go really fast. So you kind of want to explode in a certain sense. And I don't like when to push out mid, and just stay there for too long because they're going to come behind you. And if you do, you can come here, you get some kills, you get some trades, and then you just fall back and regroup, like I kind of mentioned in the Mirage video. Just like group with 3 people, push over together because they don't really know what you're doing at that point. You can just chill out and see if someone comes behind you because quite often they are. If they're going to come behind you, you can just kill them. Fortitude, I think you talked about a quick one here. Obviously, the normal one is the 3 smokes, the wall of smokes. I mean, really simple one. I believe it's this one. This smoke for backside. There's this normal cross smoke, obviously, and there's a smoke here, I believe, for this one. So, oh, I just missed it. Okay, did you see it at point? So obviously we can do that one, and again with all the mollies, which is again super simple. What we'd always do in anti-ecos is just go A, group up A together, go 2 squeaky, go 3 A main, hold for like a 10 seconds time, we'd have basically one guy go close here, and 2 people hold in case they push. This guy would just play anti-flasher more or less, and these guys would like hold back there. And then just come up here basically really slowly and just smoke and molly everything. So, smoke cross, you molly fork, you molly Bialy, you molly MBK, and you just come out 2 people squeaky with a flasher, So you flash this and 2 people go squeaky and 2 guys come here and just push out. And often we can smoke backside as well, or just molly it, but because we clear this angle, and we clear these 2 right sides, all we have to worry about is left side here. And you come 4 people around here with some flashes still. It's really hard for the CTs to deal with. And this guy's back here, we're like, just chilling about with the flashes. Can even throw a flash here, just basically sort of, well, not like that one, but like this one, which pops behind the red container, and this will just flash, anyone in this area. You can even throw it higher. There's a like surely some right click or something you can do. We never figured it out. But just that simple one is really strong because it's going through the smoke, right? So you can't deal with this guy just coming here and throwing that flash. And it doesn't really blind these guys who's on site because he's landed behind the red container. But it's a pretty decent one. It's a simple way, just take a site. And the only thing you're worried about is like site here because you're 4 rifles with some flashes and utility, and all the right sides are covered with the 2 mollies. You're really safe. So the only thing that can happen is kind of like a guy coming here, which is why you molly this, to some extent, early, because then you deal with that. And like that's something you do in gun runs for sure, like no problem at all. But for us, it's just a way to deal with anti-ecos, because then you just group up together, you clear out all the things that kind of can happen, and you just play safe after that. So that's our basic T default things I can think of. Just to give you guys some ideas of what we can do. How we like to play it, basically. Fast plays, we wouldn't really do a lot of fast plays on this map because unless either they felt like they were eco or a force buy, in which case we would just do basically an A hit or a full B hit, where we would do the same thing on B, basically, with the 2 mollies and flashes, and also do the same thing here. With like molly back here, with molly close here, clear this, smoke this, and just do the same thing. Just have like one guy stand back here and hold it. And then at that point, even if they stack B, you can just take it with brute force and all the utility. Simple, but like very thorough execute, basically. Cover all the angles. Cross all the T's, dot all the I's and stuff. Alright, I think that's it.